I'm here with James Smith. What's the dog's name?
Jackson.
Jackson. James and Jackson and Camille is standing right over there at a safe distance. I've asked James to share with us some of what the Lord is using from His Word to help you through this time of uncertainty.
Well, I've always got one thing that I try to do when I face any kind of circumstances that I know I'm incapable of handling. Mm-hmm. And that is, I try to always remember the things that I'm blessed in. Mm-hmm. I'm a very positive person. I don't like to think on negativity. Mm-hmm. So
I think God says to do that somewhere.
Somewhere, I think that's in there. So I try to think about positive things. Mm-hmm. And when I start doing that, inevitably, it starts rising up and bringing questions into my mind that helps me get out of the mood that I'm in.
Mm-hmm. So what have you been thinking about over the last couple of weeks? Life's getting interesting.
Well, as you know, with the pandemic out here going on, everybody's going crazy as far as what's going to happen to us. How do we prevent it from getting us? Mm-hmm. And actually, God's in control of all of that. Mm-hmm.
So His sovereignty is one of the
sovereignty is one of the things that I try to focus on.
Yeah.
So it's above my pay grade.
Yeah. So one of the blessings.
One of the blessings is that I know that God's in control. Yeah. And I also know that I am blessed. Mm-hmm. So I cling to those two things. One of the things that always pops up in my mind is when we had all the flooding. Mm-hmm. And of course, living in proximity to the Colorado River, mm-hmm. I had a firsthand look at it. And I'm very thankful that my home is still intact. I'm still warm in the winter, and I'm still cool in the summer. And mm-hmm. there's a lot of people in our church that weren't that fortunate, right. that they had their residences invaded by the flood waters, and they had mm-hmm. trouble with it. I'm blessed. I didn't have to do that.
So blessing number one, or one of the first things you focus on is God's in control. He's sovereign. And now I hear you telling me that you've also spent some time looking backwards over your shoulder, so to speak, at how the Lord has taken care of you in the past, how He's blessed you again and again. Am I barking up the right tree?
Yes, because everything looks easier as you look behind you.
Yeah.
It's can be very frightening if you just look forward.
Yeah.
But if you're honest with yourself and you look over your shoulder, as you said, you see where He's brought you through many, many trials and circumstances that at the time you had no idea how you were going to get out of it.
No. And that includes the flood,
mm-hmm.
something that you and I have in common.
But it doesn't have to be a flood. I mean, day-to-day life mm-hmm. can be as frustrating as the flood. Mm-hmm. We both have children, mm-hmm. have had children, mm-hmm. and will always have children. Mm-hmm. And one of the most frightening things to me is the fact that they're never going to make it because they never take my advice.
Yeah.
You know, and so I have to depend upon God to take care of them. Mm.
And He's taking care of them.
And He's taking care of them. And, you know, I think about in 2 Samuel where King David is praying to God, asking Him, why did you do all this stuff for me? Why did you take me, a shepherd's boy, mm-hmm. and make me king over Israel? Mm-hmm. I went from nothing to something, mm-hmm. so to speak. Yeah. And I look back at me and my life, and I think He's done the same things for me. He's taken me out of places that were terrible and put me in places that are wonderful. Mm-hmm. I look at how fortunate I am to be married to the woman I'm married to. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate that I have parents that supported me. Mm-hmm. And you look around, there's many parents that never support their kids. Mm-hmm. We see that every day. Mm-hmm. I've even run into frustration from witnessing to various people for a long period of time and no movement toward having any interest in God whatsoever. And then something dramatic, which came from God, would enter into their life, and all of a sudden they're very close to Him and have been now for a long time. And so He can come from many angles to take care of what He needs to take care of. He's not on our track or on our timetable. And all I try to do is just keep my faith in Him, know that He's in control, that He's blessed me and that He has saved me. I certainly would not have been able to do it myself. So I look at the blessings. And
It's like
I actually take time and stop at night or stop in the middle of the day, and I think about how much He has blessed me. And that is now the crutch that I lean on when I start getting in trouble, thinking I know something I don't know.
Yeah. We should entitle this when it hits, the devotional page or Facebook, count your blessings, name them one by one. And you said just now, in the middle of the night, this is what I'll do. I'll count my blessings, whether it's with our kids, or the flood, or the spouse that we've been granted, or the prayer requests that took forever, and then suddenly they were answered. I hear you saying, count your blessings. That's what I'm doing, Robert. Count your
All the time.